Yes, sir?
Why are they wearing those funny suits?
Well, they're protective, as you know. That's a very corrosive byproduct they're handling.
Oh, yeah. Because if they didn't wear those suits, those boys would be so full of holes, they'd whistle when they walk.
I was... Gabe, help me out here.
Well, it appears that you have your facts wrong, Mr. Gantry. Your company is supposed to get 1,500 gallons. Destination someplace called Belle Isle in Louisiana. Signed for by an officer of your company and due the 23rd.
I believe the word you're searching for is wrong.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, wrong. You are not right.
Like,
you are
why is there a W
incorrect.
in front of wrong, Gabe?
So, we're right and you're wrong.
Let me see that. Takes a big man to admit when he's wrong. I am not a big man.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look
Dude Friday edition of the program. Jen on her way to Louisiana, LSU Bama this weekend for college game day. And I got some issues, Chew. Because it's one thing when, we sit here and you call Josh a toad or somebody calls Jen a toad or you say that Packers fans are delusional, right? Like, that's family. We're all in the same family. We're all in that same Packer family, whether you're a fan, a former player like yourself. Like, that's like when, you can say bad things about your brother, but nobody else outside the family can say things about your brother, right?
I would agree. Having 4 brothers, I have a lot of stuff to say about them.
Sure.
Yes.
But the second, I guarantee you, the second somebody said something bad about one of your brothers or somebody said something bad about you, they had your back, right?
Oh, gloves off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that brings the family together. Well, I think this is going to bring the Packers family together because Amon-Ra St. Brown has a podcast with his brother, Equinemius St. Brown, who is familiar to Packer fans because, well, he used to play here. So the St. Brown Brothers podcast had this to say about the Green Bay Packers and their fans.
I feel like the fans think the division is just theirs before the season even starts. They think that the division is theirs right now as we speak. They think it's still theirs. I feel like they're delusional. I don't know.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. I've been there for years. Yeah. Every year. The North is ours.
Right.
I'm speaking ours like when I was there. North is ours.
It could be the last game of the season. The North is not even theirs. They still think it's theirs until it's finally not theirs. And then when it's not theirs, it's like, okay, it's still ours because you guys just won it 1 year.
See, now, remember me, Gabe. I mean, my nickname should be Consistency Chew.
Yeah, okay. CC.
Right?
Yeah, yes, your name should be CC.
I mean, I could have just said CC and you would have knew what I was talking about.
100%.
But didn't we have a quarterback kind of called out certain fan base a couple years ago? And we were okay with that, right?
Yeah, because you know why?
Why?
He did own them.
Yes, I agree.
But and
I agree.
If Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to tell me that I'm delusional, like, I have earned every right to be delusional about the Packers and this division.
Yes.
You know what Matt LaFleur's record was in the division his first 3 years in the division?
What?
15-3. Yeah,
Yes.
Guess what? We own the division until we don't.
Yes.
And look, the Lions, they won the division last year. I can't take that away. They lead the division this year. Mm-hmm. But isn't that part of being a fan, thinking you still have a chance in the division?
Well, yes, and I think all fan bases have a little delusion to them.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you listen to Bears radio, Gabe. You listen to Bears radio at the start of every year.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, here we go. Definitely making playoffs.
I'd call Lions fans delusional, but they finally started coming out of the woodwork the last 2 years. I don't know where they were the previous 30, but they finally started coming out of the woodworks now that they're good.
Yeah. You know what, though? What if he said, well, they have kind of a right to be delusional because over the last 30 years, they've won the division an awful lot. So they are. I agree with you. They've earned that right.
Yes, I have earned that right.
He probably said it for a couple different reasons. A, he doesn't have, probably not coming back to Lambeau Field this year. Would you agree with that?
Correct.
And the other game is on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have his brother, who's probably poking the bear a little bit, because I'm sure he wasn't happy on his short career here in Green Bay. So delusional, yes, but I don't have anything wrong with delusional when it comes to the Detroit Lions, because you know what? They're going to win for a couple years, and then they're going to go back to the back of the NFC North, right? This isn't sustainable. This isn't, because Chicago, Gabe, had that little blip, right? Mm-hmm. With Sexy Rexy.
Yes, they did. They
had that little blip.
Super Bowl.
I still don't think they were very good, but they had that little blip, and then what do? They revert back to garbage. So that's all this is. Was I offended? I don't know. Joshy is the resident frog. Were you offended?
Not necessarily. I just think it's like he doesn't understand the history. He hasn't been around long enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand. Like, it's a guy talking out of a side of his mouth where he doesn't. All he knows is the line since he's been there, and when he first got there, they were still bad.
Yeah.
And now he's like, yeah, we're on top. So, I mean, enjoy it up there, I suppose. But if history tells us anything, your run's going to be short-lived. It is weird to make it like a anti-Packers fans. I guess that's the team they view as their biggest competition. So that's kind of what he's deciding to talk about. Like, I mean, he wore the Green Bay Sucks hoodie, which spelled Green Bay in one word, and then he went on his podcast and was like, actually, that was good and on purpose. And it's like,
is he jealous?
Why was it on purpose? What was the joke? I didn't understand.
Because they care so little about Green Bay that even though he wore a Green Bay Sucks sweatshirt, he doesn't care about them.
Oh, he doesn't care about them. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yet somehow, see, I honestly kind of love this from Ramon Ross St. Brown, because we are so far inside this dude's head. Like, if Amon Ross St. Brown actually did not care about the Green Bay Packers, guess what?
He would have moved on.
He wouldn't be talking about us.
No. Yeah,
he wouldn't be talking about us a week later.
Gabe,
he seems to be very in tune with the mindset of a Green Bay Packers fan, right? Like, and I don't think he's like in Detroit going out of his way and talking to a bunch of Packers fans. What, is he just online checking out all the Packers fans' takes? I feel like we're in this dude's head, and I love it.
He's jealous, because we're always going to be good.
Yeah.
We're always going to be good, and we're going to be great 5 times more than you're great, right? I mean, when's the last time they were relevant?
Last year?
93? When they played Dallas. They beat Dallas in the divisional round or something, and then went to the NFC Championship.
Oh, that was like 91.
Was it? No. Was it?
Yeah. It was like 90 or 91.
It's been a long time.
Been a long time. Been a very long time since they've been relevant and winning playoff games and hosting things. Like, it's just funny to me because, again, if there's something that I don't care about, I don't pay attention to it. I don't talk about it. I don't show up wearing a hoodie that declares how much I dislike something. If I truly don't care and something isn't that's just hilarious to me that he thinks about the Packers so much that he decided to wear a hoodie and now is still talking about Packers fans a week after the game, a game in which they dominated. Like, I'm not taking that away from them, Chew. They dominated the game and they won. And yet here he is trying to convince me that he doesn't care about me, but he just can't stop talking about us as Packer fans.
Is his brother still in the league or no?
Maybe.
Yeah, I believe he is a member of the Saints. Last I checked.
Okay.
I don't know if he still is.
How many years did he play here? 2, 3?
4.
But
4.
But he was a nothing, right?
He was probably less than a nothing.
Less than a nothing. So I'm sure there's a little like I said, poking of the bear.
Yes, he is a member of the New Orleans Saints. Still, does not have a catch this year.
Yeah.
His best year in Green Bay, Chewy, was 21 catches for 328 yards.
Not great, Bob?
No, he has 2 career touchdowns.
Yeah.
Which, again, I don't understand what he's doing in there. Oh, yeah, it was like that when I was there. Yeah, because when you were here, EQ, guess what happened?
We were good.
Packers won the division 3 out of 4 years, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't understand why you got to add fuel to the fire. Or maybe he just doesn't like the Packers because they decided to move on from him and didn't give him any sort of contract extension. But it's my favorite thing, Chew. Why do athletes do this? Try to convince people, oh, yeah, I don't think about you at all. When clearly, then why do we keep coming up? Why are you wearing a hoodie that says Green Bay sucks? Why are you talking about the Packers fans a week later?
Because the Packer organization is at the top of the NFC North. And then there's a gap, right? And then there may be another gap, right? Because I would rank it probably, I would go Green Bay, gap, Minnesota, gap, another gap, and then I'd let the Bears and Lions fight it out. For who's the seller? I don't know. One of them's the seller.
Yep.
I'm not sure which one.
You're not sure what. Honestly, in my lifetime, it's Detroit. Because at least you mentioned Chicago's had a couple of blips.
This is Detroit's blip.
It could be. Maybe it sets them up for something good in the future. I don't know, but man,
it's not sustainable.
Who? Why do you say that?
It's not because their window's going to shut, and then they're going to go back to 30 years of garbage.
Because that's just the natural order of things?
That's just the way it goes, right?
Ricardo from Canada chimes in, 800-990-3776. As soon as that Lions OC moves on to become an HC, that team is going to stink. Plenty of ball left. Of course, Ben Johnson, who is expected to be a head coach in the NFL at some point.
Who might wind up going to Chicago? And still battling out with Detroit. And Jared Goff's playing out. You got to give him credit. He's playing unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
But he's has he made the turn, Gabe? Is he on 12 or 13?
Oh, he's in the back part of his career, certainly. But he's playing great. And look, it seems like he's also celebrating that the Lion, we won the division already, man. The Packers are not in a great spot, but the Vikings played you pretty tight, too. The Vikings are nipping at your heels. It seems like Amon-Ra St. Brown seems to think that the Lions have already won the division with half the season left. And nothing right now, after he called us, as a fan base, delusional, nothing would make me happier than the Lions not winning the division.
Well, this lines up right for a Charleneism. You know which one it is?
Self-praise stink PU.
What comes around goes around.
That's... I guess the wrong one.
I also feel like there's a certain level of trying to get over what a failure it was that they weren't playing in the Super Bowl. They had every opportunity to be there, and they sort of gave it to the 49ers. Weren't they ahead? How far ahead were they in that game?
Oh, they were up by double digits.
Yeah, so you got to find somebody to take it out on. Obviously, Packers fans right now having lost, but, you got smoked in your home on Thanksgiving. That's your guys' whole thing. That was just a season ago. It's not like they have some... Sure, they're ahead in the division, but it's not like they are far and away... It's not like Aaron Rodgers and his run on the Bears, the streak of wins. It's like we kind of trade blows in this division right now.
Yeah, but it feels almost stupid talking about it because there's been a couple Bears players that have said stupid things about the Packer fans, right? Wasn't there a D lineman that said something like... Yeah, it's like for Packers fans, this should be just like background music. It should be like, okay, yeah, sure, great, okay. Let's compare records 10 years from now and see where you're at. We know where we're going to be at, right? We're going to be competitive every year.
And Joshy, just so we get the record straight, it was 24-7 at half. Lions were up 24-7. That got erased in the third quarter.
They went on to play in the Super Bowl, right? Because that's what happens when you lead 24-7 at half.
That feels a little Atlanta, New England.
Well,
right?
But again, it's one of those things where, and Chewy, we've talked about this, oh crap, we can actually compete with these guys, and then they kind of make the comeback on you. But this is just hilarious to me, man. Why would you decide to step in front of a microphone and go after a fan base that you still have to play with half the season left?
Chewy, I have a question for you. So in this, he goes after the Packers fans, but then says, I don't have any issue with the players. The players are cool guys. Would this be something, and obviously times have changed now, people are much more friendly team to team, but would this been something that makes a locker room want to stick it to him more? Because it kind of feels like putting your hand in the bee's nest and trying to rattle people who don't really have that bad of feelings for you yet.
I'm sure players have read this, and there was only one instance, and Holmgren didn't like Big Cat Jeff Brady, where we cut him. He was a linebacker for us probably in like 94, 95, and he always talked about himself in the third person, and he gave himself his own nicknames. Like, he'd walk around and go, that tickled Big Cat, you know? So he ran his mouth, went to Minnesota, and just wouldn't stop. So we played him that week, and Holmgren came up to me and Frankie and said, I want him worn out by the end of the game. And me and Frank hit him every single play. We played to the whistle and just wore him out. He never said another damn word again. So that's how we address it.
I feel like Josh, you could be onto something here, because at least as a fan base, I feel that even though the Lions won the division last year and they just came in here and they lead the division this year, for the Packers, the biggest rivals are still the Vikings and the Bears. So
you know
is this Amon-Ra St. Brown trying to get our attention to the Lions?
You know what I loved? Yes, Gabe. You know what I loved, though? I loved being a Rocco. You know?
Can you explain what that means?
A hitman. When the coach comes over and says, hey, Rocco and Suds, come over here. Rocco and Suds, hey, you know this number 52? Yeah, take care of him. You know what that means. Isn't that kind of cool?
I mean, I have never personally been a Rocco, so I don't know the experience. It sounds like a good time, though. Seems like you really enjoyed it.
Oh, it was great. It was great. But it was great from the standpoint of, okay, if we do something illegal, I guess, Holmgren would pick up the fine.
He's got your back.
He's got our back.
Which is great. That's all you're looking for.
But, Gabe, I told you about the Dion instance when Holmgren came up to me. Now, I whiffed and fell on my face, but I was still Rocco.
It's a little different when you're going against one of the most agile players in NFL history.
Yeah, he kind of saw me coming. I kind of knew there was a chance that was going to happen.
Well, hey, you gave it your best effort. That's all you can do sometimes. Jason Wilde, our conversation with him during the Packers bye week is coming up next. A weekly pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tune into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, a 1995 UCLA hoops champ himself, talk about everything happening in the Bucks world and are joined by some of the biggest names in basketball. Plus, they'll answer your questions too. Stay on the beat of the Bucks. Find Here District now, bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We still have delays on northbound 43 from about Hampton all the way up to the Good Hope Road off-ramp, where there is a broken down semi that's stuck right at the beginning of the off-ramp there. Squad is there to block off the right lane with it as well, so that's why we're seeing those big delays. Rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. It's pretty quiet out there right now, pretty typical Friday morning. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 58. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 43 at the lake, 36 inland. Weather's brought to you by the Corners of Brookfield. Head to the Corners for all of your gifting needs and find something for everyone at any of their 30-plus restaurants and retailers. thecornersofbrookfield.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together, we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. Zero sugar, zero carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucks.com/tickets. That's Bucks.com/tickets.
Thanksgiving's only a few weeks away, and Fleet Farm's got just what you need to prep for family and friends. For you turkey smokers, Griller's Gold barbecue pellets are just $5.99 a bag. And you can never have enough Fleet Farm mixed nuts. 2-pound bags are on sale for $12.99. Wash it all down with Bubbler's sparkling water. Now just $11 for 2 6-packs. The holidays will be here before you know it. So stock up now on everything you need at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
Ready, down, put.
All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He is our friend. He is our teammate. He is Jason Wilde, and he joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. What's up, dude?
How we doing, dudes?
Doing great, bud. Feeling good. We just heard, I don't know, did you hear the sound from Amon-Ra St. Brown calling Packers fans delusional on his podcast with Equinemius?
I have not.
Well, so he called. Let's just go ahead and play it. It's short enough, Jason. We can just play this again. Here's what the St. Brown brothers had to say on their podcast about Packers fans.
I feel like the fans think the division is just theirs before the season even starts. They think the division is theirs right now as we speak. They think it's still theirs. I feel like they're delusional. I don't know.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I've been there. I've been there for years. Yeah, every year. The North is ours.
Right.
I'm speaking ours like when I was there. North is ours.
It could be the last game of the season. The North is not even theirs. They still think it's theirs until it's finally not theirs. And then when it's not theirs, it's like, okay, it's still ours because you guys just won it 1 year.
For a guy who claims that he doesn't care about the Packers or their fan base, wore a Green Bay Sucks hoodie to the game, and now is talking about the Packers fans once again a week later, Jason, he seems to be a guy who cares a lot about Green Bay and the fan base, right?
Great read on that. God, you're good. You should do like national work. Yeah, exactly. Like if you don't talk about teams or fan bases if you're not worried about them or thinking about them, right? Like you got plenty of other. I don't claim to be the best radio person on the planet. You might be, but I'm definitely not. And I get it. There's intrigue and interest in a couple of NFL wide receivers. Is Equinemius still in the league, or is he out now?
He is playing with the New Orleans Saints. Because we had the same question, Jason. We weren't sure.
0 receptions, too.
Yeah, he does not have a reception, but he is on the roster.
Okay, so he's sort of playing. I just don't know why you would even – like, I guess maybe you just need content. And, you don't have an outstanding producer like Joshy helping you with topics, so you fall back into a Green Bay discussion. But let's be honest, I don't agree with the delusional part, but the assessment of the fan base's expectations for the division, I mean, they're not wrong, right?
Don't you want to play for a franchise like that, Jason?
Right. and that's the expectation because they win the division more often than the other 3 teams. If you go back for the last 30 years, the Packers have won the division the most of any of those 4 franchises, right? I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think it's probably pretty safe to say that they have not completely dominated and won the division all 30 of those years, but more often than not, they have won the division. So I don't think that makes you delusional. I think that makes you having high expectations for a team that has lived up to them. But not to be whatever, and I don't want to swear and get Joshy in trouble, but who gives a blank about the division? Like,
yeah, exactly.
They got, Holmgren used to say it, and Sherman and McCarthy. The first step is winning the division. It gets you in the playoffs. It gets you a home game. Yada yada yada. Sure, all those things are true. And the last team to win a Super Bowl in Green Bay, Wisconsin, did not win the division. Did not have a home game in the playoffs. Now, do I recommend taking that route? No, but no one looks back on the 2010 season and goes, "Damn, they didn't win the division." Like, who? No one cares.
Yeah, no one cares.
That's not what matters.
But the last time I think the Packers winning the division, Chew, mattered is when you guys won it in '95 because it was the first time in God knows how long.
Right.
Yeah, that's not the benchmark. The benchmark here is Super Bowls. It just is.
It's not division
Jason,
count.
Yeah, New England, I'm sure New England had the same attitude with Brady and Belichick. And Kansas City has the same attitude right now with Belichick and Andy. I mean, it sounds a little bit like he's jealous. That's my interpretation, which is fine, but I mean...
Sure, and he's got an opportunity to help them make the Lions fan base think the same way.
I got a fun nugget here.
Is it? Ooh, I love nuggets.
Do we have like sounder for this? Joshy's Nuggets?
Joshy's fun nugget of the day.
Since 1995, the Lions have won the division the same amount of times as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
There you have it.
Who have not been in the division since 2002.
Correct.
And they probably have never even won. Tampa Bay probably never won the NFC North when they were in the North.
Well, no, that's what he's saying. So between the division that the Packers have been in, the Buccaneers have won that division, whether it was the Central. Obviously, they won it when it was the Central. And they've won it as many times as the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
And they haven't been in the division
Tamara,
since
try to
02.
keep up.
I know. It's a Friday.
That was the
Jason.
joke.
I'm already... Ha, 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 ha. Jason, what'd they do with Preston Smith's roster spot?
I mean, there's a couple of options they have. One is obviously activating Marshawn Lloyd because he's apparently getting close to the point where he can return to play. That said, I'm not sure how overly eager they are to have him play, right? I mean, I think they're pretty excited about Chris Brooks and what he's turned out to be. And Emmanuel Wilson has been productive when given opportunities. So I was thinking maybe the other possibility, they've got him on their practice squad right now, is this Jamin. Is it Jamin? Jamin? I haven't met him. I haven't talked to him. I haven't looked at the pronunciation of his name. But the former first-round pick that they picked up and put on the practice squad, Davis is his last name. He's a linebacker. He played some edge rusher previously, but he was a first-round pick several years ago. I mean, maybe that would make sense too, right? Especially since they moved a defensive player, but it's probably one of those two. I don't think anything more earth-shattering than that. Did you have higher hopes and expectations for that open roster spot?
Not so much. You just read all these DNs that become available. I was wondering if they were going to sign, because there was a guy, where was, from Baltimore, Njoku? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, Ngakoue.
Unique Ngakoue.
I mean, I'm wondering if they're going to sign him. But my other question is, Jason, who's going to
He's
start?
Played for about 15 teams in the last year and a half, it feels like. But, yeah, go ahead.
Ingabare has a higher percentage of snaps than Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah.
So who's going to...
I said that the other day, and I said that I thought he would be the one who would take over as the starting spot for Preston, and I had a couple of people make it seem like I was an idiot, but he's played more, and he's played better than Van Ness. Now, again, as is always the case with the Packers, the whole young man's game, and we want to get a look at these young guys. I don't care what Goody says about Brenton Cox or Aaron Mosby. I do think Aaron Mosby is going to play more. I mean, the guy has a half sack. He's played 7 snaps all season. That's a pretty good win rate. But I think this is about Lucas Van Ness more than anybody else, right? Because this regime believes that you get better as a young player, and I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that this is kind of a guiding principle for them. You get better by playing if you're a young player. And Lucas Van Ness, I think we can all agree on this panel, has not gotten a whole lot better. And he has played a meaningful amount of snaps. So I don't know, what they're thinking with him, but I would assume when you're a first-round pick, as Tausch always likes to say, first-round picks have to constantly prove they don't belong in the league if they're not going to be playing, and seventh-round picks constantly have to prove that they do. Well, he's going to get some more opportunities because they want their first-round pick to flourish, which he hasn't done to this point.
Jason, what's the one area that you think they need to improve on the most in order to have a successful second half of the season?
Yeah, I think I'm going to say 2, one on each side of the ball, and you guys already know because we spent so much time on it. Well, we spent so much time on both of these. These are going to be obvious to everyone. On the offensive side, it's Jordan Love decision-making. It's not that he hasn't played well. It's not that he hasn't shown his arm strength and his improved accuracy and all those things. I know there's been some folks that have been getting after his accuracy, which is okay because I personally believe he has been less accurate, but it's because he's been playing with a pair of leg injuries now, and he's not fundamentally throwing the way he needs to, and he's not getting enough practice time, which I firmly believe in. So on the offensive side, he has to be better in that, or they're not going anywhere. And then on the defensive side, it's the guys we've just been talking about. That defensive line has to be more productive. And I thought, again, I don't want to say stunned because that would be mean, and I don't want to hurt the delicate flower that is Mark Chmura. But I thought his point yesterday about, the potential of excuse-making and other defensive linemen or defensive ends like Rashawn Gary suggesting that, like Preston, he just hasn't fit into the scheme yet. I think that's bunk, personally. Like, I just think that, yes, there's a slight adjustment, but certainly not such a severe adjustment that they've gotten the limited production that they have out of their front. I just think that they got to be better there.
Jason, have the players been cut loose yet, and when do they do back?
Dude, you live in, the 80s and 90s, bro. Like, this is a totally different league. Like, it's not like if you were pissed as a coach and you thought these guys don't deserve a full week off, there's nothing you can do about it. It's in the CBA. So they came in on Monday and watched film, and then that's it. They're gone. And they have to be back. Week? Yeah, and then they have to be back Sunday night because they have a team meeting and they're back to work on Monday. That's how the league works now. How do you feel about that, old boy?
That is ridiculous. Holy cats. Because we'd go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and if we were good.
Aware.
Yeah. If we were good. And then injured guys, Jason, you remember, if you're injured, you can't go anywhere. You're getting treatment. They're in the middle of a season, and they're not playing great football. What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's the rules, buddy. And I think the injured guys thing still stands. I think that's still the case. But yeah, they're Monday they had to come in and watch film, and then he cut them loose. They were cut loose before we talked to him at 2:00 in his press conference.
Wow. Holy smokes. Must be nice.
It must be nice.
Jason, appreciate the time, buddy. Look forward to hearing you coming up in about 90 minutes on Wilde Tausch.
I'll visit their show, but I'm supposed to be off yesterday and today, but I'm not going to miss this show for that. So tune in to hear Jim Rutledge and Jesse Nelson, and I'm driving to Boucher in Greenfield today, so I'm going to join them for a segment while I'm driving.
All right. Well, safe travels, my friend.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Jason
Take care,
Wilde
be good.
joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Chewy has been waiting for this upcoming segment for, a week, just about all week, because Craig Karmazin is going to be joining us next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 43, still seeing some backups from Hampton up towards Bender Road. That earlier disabled vehicle at the beginning of the Good Hope Road off-ramp has been cleared, so things should start getting back to normal pretty soon. Westbound 94, quick tap of the brakes, leaving the stadium interchange out towards Mitchell Boulevard, and a couple of pockets of heavy traffic on 41 southbound, just south of Capitol, and one around the North Avenue curve. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 58. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 43 at the lakefront, 36 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Anyway, let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 1.1 to 2 ounce McCormick Pure Vanilla Extract or Ground Nutmeg, $3.99. 12-pack can Selected Varieties Super Chill Soda, $4.79. 12.5 to 20 ounce Selected Varieties Rana Pasta or Sauce, $5.99. 10 to 13 ounce Selected Varieties Marie Callender Bowls or Pot Pies, 2 for $4.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Try this. Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by January 8th.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Hey ESPN Wisconsin fans, Brad Nortman here. Whether you're an athlete like me or just want to feel your best, Quintessa's new wellness center in Brookfield is your go-to for peak performance. With services like hormone therapy, IV drip therapy, medical weight loss, and anti-aging, Quintessa has everything to keep your body running at its best. It's not just about game day, it's about every day. Check out myquintessa.com/wellness and see how Quintessa can help you stay at the top of your game. Your body deserves it.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
Great game. You got into the end zone again and again. How'd it feel?
Awesome. Like getting a new iPhone again and again. I just got the new iPhone 16 Pro today.
Really?
Yeah, and with AT&T Next Up Anytime, I can upgrade early every year.
Very nice.
Feel like an MVP again. Learn how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us and the latest iPhone every year with AT&T Next Up Anytime. AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Offer subject to change. Additional fees, terms, and restrictions apply. $0 offer may not be available on future iPhones. Next Up Anytime feature may be discontinued at any time. See att.com/iPhone for details.
It's Friday, and that means it's time to check in with GKB President Craig Karmazin.
Gabe, you're right. I actually just looked at the stats. No hypocrite has ever won a championship.
Fridays with Mo.
Mark Attanasio, the last thing he wanted to do was play a video and tribute Craig Counsell in any way. So I give Mark Attanasio a ton of credit.
Craig Karmazin on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is sponsored by Landworks Landscape Services. Their creative and talented team will design, build, enhance, and maintain beautiful landscapes in southeastern Wisconsin. Learn more and see their work at landworkswisconsin.com.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
Always enjoy catching up with Good Karma Brands founder, CEO Craig Karmazin each and every Friday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Make sure you catch him Sunday mornings from 10 till noon here on 94.5 ESPN. Good morning, Craig.
Morning, guys.
All right, Chewy. I'm passing you the ball and I'm clearing out.
Craig, What is the approach of this team this year? And I know it's early. It's 8 games in, but that's still – I'm not real good on percentages. It's probably, 8% of your season already through 8 games? Is the approach going to be, look, we have to stay healthy? I would go
more like 8 out of – yeah. I think we're through
7?
now 2 NFL games, right? We're like, if you think about it that way.
Yeah, but what's the approach going to be? Is it going to be like, okay, this is just how it's going to be. If a guy's dinged up, any of the old guys, he's going to sit till they get healthy? Or is it going to be like, hey, we have to be a top 3 seed?
No, I mean, it's definitely not going to be, we have to be a top 3 seed, right? You want to be as healthy as possible going into the postseason. But the thing about the Eastern Conference right now is if you look at ESPN's BPI, like the index, the Bucs are projected as of today to finish 3rd in the Eastern Conference. So it's been an ugly start, but it doesn't mean that top 3 isn't very realistic with even how they've played to this point.
What's been the biggest issue when you watch this team?
I mean, I didn't watch last night's game. I was at the LA Kings game last night. But I mean, since we last spoke a week ago, I didn't think there was much of an issue. I thought they played pretty well in both games against the Cavs, considering Giannis didn't play in the road game. And the home game, I thought they played really well. I mean, they turned the ball over a little bit. They had a few more turnovers than the Cavs, but it came down to a 1-possession game against a really good team. So I think they played really poorly against the Bulls and against the Brooklyn Nets. And, you can throw the Memphis Grizzlies in that, but I think the team's, I think it's getting better.
Yeah, but I'm not, we're past
and by the way, last
Giannis.
night did not look good. By the way, last night I wasn't there, but just in following what I followed, I'm not saying last night looked good. That just because they won by 20, it appeared that it took a while for them to get going, and it was a new starting lineup and all that. But I'm not saying this team's hitting on all cylinders. But
no, and
I'm saying if you look at the last 3 games, right? If you look at the last 3 games, there's a lot more positive signs than what we had seen the previous 3 games, which would lead you to, start to really worry.
Yeah, but I'm not letting them use the Rashawn Gary excuse of, they need to gel and get together. They had a year to do that last year, okay? It is what it is. I mean, Rashawn Gary and the ACL, that was last year, right? I'm not giving them that pass this year. 1-6 is concerning.
They're now 2-6. They're now 2-6.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll let it go, Gabe.
It's all concerning, and I think if the Bucs are 2-11, I think it's legit concerning. I think now they have opportunities, where if they split the next 2 games, both games which they'll be not expected to win and underdogs, I think you say, okay, we're kind of seeing where this team comes together. And you can't ignore the fact that Chris Middleton hasn't played a game yet, right? And I know that was where your first question was getting at, which is when's he going to play and what's up with this stuff? But I think, we saw it last year when those 3 guys are healthy and together, this team is really, really tough to beat.
So when we reconvene in a week, Craig, 3-1 and we start to feel better, or if they go 2-2, I mean, what do they have to go, in the next 4 games at New York and then 3 straight at home, Boston, Toronto, Detroit? What kind of record are we looking at to start to kind of to go, okay, they're in a good spot, now we can start rolling with the season?
I mean, I think to say a good spot, you got to be 3-1. 2-2 is not a good spot, right? If you lose to Boston, New York, and then you beat 2 play into non-playoff teams at home, I don't think you're feeling good about that, right? You're feeling like, okay, our record looks a little better. instead of being 1-6, like Chewy had said, the team started. All of a sudden, you're at that point 4-8, but you're not feeling good by any means at 4-8. At 5-7, you're probably already back in the play-in mix and maybe close to the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. And if you look at the point differential, the Bucks are actually 7th in the East already, which is crazy to think that they're the 7th best team in the conference if you look at point differential. So I think you need to beat a quality opponent and a team that people see as going into the year who should be your peers, which I know Philadelphia was one of those teams coming into the year, and they're in a worse situation than the Bucks right now. So, what the Bucks are dealing with isn't unique just to them, but Embiid hasn't played. So I think beating the Knicks or Celtics shows that this team is capable of being who we thought they are. And by the way, if they then trip up, against either the Pistons or the Raptors at home, they lose. I would almost take the win if you had to trade a win against the Celtics or Knicks for a loss against the Raptors. I think you'd almost do it just to see this team beat a really high-quality opponent.
Craig, past halfway of the NFL season for the Packers, where would you put them in the NFC? And let me just give you some teams, okay? Philly, Washington, Detroit, Minnesota, Atlanta, San Francisco.
All right, now are we saying who have they played better than to this point?
I'm just saying
who do I think they are better than.
Where would you power rank those teams?
Oh, you and your power.
All right. Just give me. Are they better than Philadelphia? Why are you thinking so much?
I don't think so. I don't think
it shouldn't have took that
Philly,
long. It should.
Yeah. Philly, I don't think they're better than.
He can't take time to think about the question?
No, not when it's Philly. I mean, they lost to him. And Philly's got some pretty good wins. They figured it out. Philly's playing good football right now. It's just the media wants to create this issue between Sirianni and Hurts, and it's not there.
No, it's there.
Philly almost puked it away against the Jaguars this week, and so I was just processing having watched
the Packers,
that game. But
and what the Packers do?
Yeah,
one with their backup quarterback.
Second field goal
with their backup quarterback.
Not at the start of the game. We're not going to use injuries as an excuse here for people. Washington.
Gosh, I mean, I think the Packers are slightly better than them, but I guess
I'm just saying where they're playing right now. Don't project. Stop using the second half of last year to influence your decision.
Wait, so
it's a totally different year. No. I'm saying from game 1 this week to game 9.
No, I'm looking at the Commanders' schedule, and to me, the Commanders were impressive in their loss to the Ravens. But remember, the Commanders got that. I mean, the Hail Mary against the Bears. I mean, their record looks really different without it. And in the Packers' 2 losses, right? I mean, two of their 3 losses are to the teams at the top of the conference.
And they were bad losses.
The Eagles
losses, correct?
The Eagles wasn't a bad loss.
No, that wasn't a bad loss, but certainly Detroit and Minnesota were bad losses at home.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, Detroit.
Obviously behind.
Minnesota.
Behind. I think they're better than Minnesota, but they're behind.
Atlanta.
I would say slightly ahead.
Have you been talking to Amon St. Brown?
But I mean, I don't. Okay, who are you ripping on there? I don't understand who you're ripping on. What, you don't think?
I think Amon St. Brown is saying Craig. I think he's saying Craig.
He's saying
it's part of the little bit of delusional.
The Packers are better than.
Wait, the Packers. But
I
think the Packers are better than the Falcons right now.
I'm just like.
What's the? I mean, okay, so they beat the Eagles by a point. They've got one signature win. They've lost to the Seahawks, Chiefs, and Steelers. again, I think it's close, but I think the Packers are better than the Falcons right now.
Say that one more time. They lost to who, Gabe?
The Seahawks, Chiefs, and Steelers.
Those are three, really, really good teams.
Well, one of them is not, and they got their doors blown out at home.
They lost by 20 points to the Seahawks, Chewy. What loss is similar like that the Packers have had?
Give me a hang your hat.
They lost 34.
Give me a hang your hat win.
For the Falcons? Or for the Packers? The Falcons, they beat the Eagles by a point.
The Packers have won. We can agree the Packers have won.
Yes,
right?
and the Falcons have won. The Falcons have won against the Eagles. Otherwise, they've beaten the Saints, the Bucks twice, the Panthers, and the Cowboys.
The Bucs
all
are
teams,
good, Gabe.
All teams
the
with losing records. They're 4-5. They're 4-5, Chew. I know you want to like them, but they're 4-5. They have a losing record.
They're better than the. You're insane. Gabe, you're supposed to be on my side. What the hell?
Well, I'm just telling you that the Buccaneers have a losing record. I don't understand your fascination with them. They're okay. They're an average football team. They're not good.
Who has a chance to win that division?
Chewy, the Packers win over the Cardinals is as good as the win over the Buccaneers.
It's better.
Craig, who's the best team in football?
The best team in football is the Lions.
Are you up yet, or what? You're taking no. The best team in football is the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think they are.
I think no matter who you said there, Craig, he was going to take the other team. I think he just wanted to disagree with you. I think you could have said the Chiefs, and he went, "Oh, you crazy? It's the Lions."
Right now, you think? I mean, I watched them finish off the Bucs the other night. I think the Chiefs are the team you wouldn't pick against, but I don't think they've put together the best overall resume of how they've played on both sides of the ball. I don't think their offense has played close to as well as Detroit's, and I think their defenses are comparable.
Once the Chiefs start realizing, let me tell you what, because I know Andy, and I know how he's going to sell this, okay? Once the Chiefs get closer to the end and they're undefeated, Andy is going to use that. He's going to sit there and go, we can make history, guys. We can make history, okay? And that's what's going to motivate them. Because going for your third Super Bowl in a row, no. He's going to use that, and he's going to say.
I thought you'd say they have enough motivation because no one's ever won 3 Super Bowls. So I think the undefeated becomes the distraction. I think winning 3 Super Bowls, and I don't know that they're good enough to go undefeated. So I think they're going to need even like a 2-game. Think about. They lost to the Packers last year when the Packers weren't even considered that good.
Exactly. But what happens? What happens with teams like that, Craig? They just get bored. They're just like, hey, the regular season doesn't, and it happened last year.
But don't you think that's okay for them if they're going for 3 Super Bowls? 3 Super Bowls has never been done. I don't know if the undefeated thing matters if you're going for 3 Super Bowls.
3 Super Bowls is way more impressive than the undefeated season.
I disagree. No.
They're both crazy impressive.
Yes.
If they went undefeated to win 3 straight Super Bowls, then I think we'd
shut
have
down
to
the
say
league.
No, undefeated would it'd carry much more clout than 3 in a row. You're undefeated. There's only one other team that has done it in the history of the NFL.
And how many teams have won 3 Super Bowls in a row?
Well, the loss is not as good. The 4 losses in a row is impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive to get there 4 times in a row. But again,
I would rather have. Poll it, Joshy. Can you poll it?
Yeah, we can poll this. What would you rather have?
I would rather have an undefeated season.
Would you rather have an undefeated season and win the Super Bowl or win 3 straight Super Bowls?
Yes, that is the question.
No.
Chewy, you've got to go 3 straight Super Bowls. Come on.
No. Because then I think you're considered maybe the best. If they go undefeated and win the Super Bowl, there's probably argument that they are the best team, the best NFL team of all time.
But I think they already have that. If they win the Super Bowl this year, Chew, that's 4 out of 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is insane. But I'm just telling you, I would take the undefeated season in the Super Bowl.
Then I would feel pretty ridiculous at saying that I think the Lions are better than the Chiefs. But right now, I don't know. It's like I look at their coordinators and I look at how good their offense is, and I know Andy's a genius and all that, but I don't know. And by the way, in a big spot in the playoffs, I'm trusting Mahomes way more than I'm trusting Goff, right? So if you're asking me who the better team is in the playoffs and all that, I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But you're saying power rankings right now, and I'm looking at the quality of the wins and the quality of how the team played and all of that. It's hard to pick against the Lions right now. They're a monster.
Yeah, maybe with Aiden Hutchinson, I would agree with you. Even picking up Za'Darius, we'll see how that plays out. Yes, I would put them as number one, but no, you have to go with the Chiefs. And the wild card is Spagnuolo.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good.
Yeah, that defense.
You're going to say Ben Johnson's not a wild card? How good he's as the offensive coordinator of the Lions?
I'm taking Andy Reid over Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I mean,
that's fair. That's fair.
And I'm taking Spagnuolo over Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue against the guys that won 2 straight Super Bowls. I'm just saying, watching that Chiefs-Buccaneers game, and maybe your point is that they're bored and they're still finding a way to win, but I mean, the Buccaneers have no one, and the Buccaneers beat the Lions, by the way, which is kind of funny, and Chewy thinking the Buccaneers are the best team in the league, because maybe they are somehow, because they almost just beat the Chiefs and the Lions. So maybe the Buccaneers are the best team in the league. But I don't know. The Chiefs just seem like there's something missing. They just seem like they're just so smart, so they find a way to win, but it feels like there's something missing, and I can't totally pinpoint what it is.
It's probably a running game. It's probably a running game because they have DeAndre Hopkins now with Kelsey.
Right.
And who's the other receiver who's pretty darn good? The young kid.
I mean,
that's what they're missing.
Craig, we are very, very late. So we appreciate the time. We appreciate you deciding, hey, I'm going to step up and get yelled at Chewy today for my football takes. That is, we appreciate
what I'm here for.
Hold on. And I will,
big Bucs game tonight.
Because I'm fair and I'm all about consistency.
Yeah.
I thought I would dominate Craig in that segment.
Yeah.
And I just beat him by a little bit. All
right, Craig.
Well,
better luck next week.
Bucks over the Knicks. Have a great weekend, guys.
Go Bucks, go. Tune into Thanalysis Show each and every week. It's presented by Gruber Law Offices. Thanasis Antetokounmpo hangs out with special guests for fun and even surprising conversations. Maybe it's his live show with Giannis, a chat with Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love, getting the inside scoop on fighting with Logan Paul, who's got a big fight coming up, or any one of TA's unique guests. Find Thanalysis Show on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Plus, you can subscribe to Thanalysis Show on YouTube to see exclusive video content from Thanasis. Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Financial literacy can make a huge impact on the success of our future leaders by engaging in hands-on courses, teaching essential skills like budgeting, savings, and investing. Junior Achievement of Wisconsin is helping prepare students for a future of financial success and independence. Bring these vital lessons to your school or community. Visit wisconsin.ja.org to learn more. Junior Achievement, inspiring, preparing, succeeding.
Landworks is the locally owned landscape company to elevate the look of your home or business. Landworks is different because of customer service. From the crew to the salesperson to the admin team, you're in good hands with Landworks. Their sales and design teams are made up of horticulturists, licensed landscape architects, and passionate plant people. Their landscape architects and horticulture team members are also project managers. This means you'll have a single point of contact from initial design through completion of work. See their amazing work for yourself at landworkswisconsin.com.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home, to a generator to keep your lights on, or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
This political season, you'll hear a lot of noise. But this November, Walker Media Agency has the expertise and team to improve your marketing, advertising, and IT. Start at WMA2024.com. Paid for by Matt Walker and Walker Media Agency.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join. Something that hasn't been done in almost 50 years. Iowa posting a 40 spot on Wisconsin over the weekend. The 42-10 loss drops the Badgers to 5-4 overall and 3-3 in Big Ten play. Luke Fickell on the Badgers' brutal loss in Iowa City. Audio courtesy Wisconsin Athletics.
That's the first time I've really felt this. Even after the Alabama game wasn't the same thing. This was kind of your worst nightmare, to just kind of be overtaken and manhandled and dominated, especially in the second half.
Wisconsin will hope to regroup during the bye before hosting Oregon on November 16th.
Pella's Windows and Doors feature durable materials, custom colors, and innovative features like shades between the glass. Get 0% interest for 60 months now through November 8th at PellaWI.com.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
TBD.
No, not how this works. That's not how any of this
That's
works.
how you make content.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's how it works for him.
What's TBD mean?
To be determined.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
To be determined.
Did you hear him say to be dumb?
To be dumb. Did Joshy say that?
He did.
On 94.5 ESPN.
All right, I just have one question for you.
Yeah.
Are the Packers better than the Buccaneers?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure. Because I don't understand where this Buccaneers love comes from you. Because you realize statistically, they're closer to the Cowboys than they are the Packers. Record-wise. Record-wise, the Cowboys are 3-5. Tampa Bay is 4-5. Green Bay is 6-3.
This feels like Tampa Bay bias. You've been seeing their games around there, seeing a little more the Pirates. You've been influenced.
You think so?
You've been influenced by the locality.
So I'm not being consistent is basically what you're saying?
I mean, we're not saying no. I think you are consistent in your love for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will give you that.
That's carried on all year.
I'm just trying to figure out where the love comes from for a team that's 4-5.
You want to know where the love comes from? I'll tell you where the love comes from.
Because they beat Detroit?
Okay. They beat Washington. They beat Detroit. They beat Philadelphia.
Sure. And they've lost to whom?
They lost to the Chiefs. They lost to the Falcons. They lost to the Ravens. I mean, that is a hard schedule, Gabe. That's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
That's a very, very tough schedule.
And if you were a good team, you'd be better than 4-5.
All I'm saying is this. You can't use last year's season for this year's season and say, they're going to turn it on.
I'm not.
No
they also
problem.
got boat raced by the Broncos at home.
They're good. That's all. Let me tell you what. I'll leave. You know I'll leave.
Oh, yeah. All right. We'll go easier on Chewy in hour number 2. Starts in 2 minutes.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Southbound on 43, right about just south of Hampton Avenue. We got the left lane blocked with a crash, so watch out for the delays heading past that. We've got westbound 94 backed up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's going to be heavy from about 68th Street through the Stadium interchange as well. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 58. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 43 at the lake, 36 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack with a question for those of you betting on sports. Did you miss our great week last week? 5-1 on Sunday. Actually, if you played the soccer and the players props, a 14-4 Sunday got everybody into profit after an 11-4 week in football. Go to fatjacksports.com. If you're betting the games, you can win for less than $100 a week. College basketball's now started, and we are having a huge November. Get signed up today. The plays go to your personal portal and are emailed to you, and they'll make you money. fatjacksports.com to win.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivateba.com/MVP to book today.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Brust and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
All right, we've got that drop. You know the one. The one about Chewy being right and whatnot. I don't know that he's done anything right now to deserve the drop, but I'm using it as a point of reference because...
Is that the stuff I'm supposed to get?
Yes, sir.
Why are they wearing those funny suits?
Well, they're protective, as you know. That's a very corrosive byproduct they're handling.
Oh, yeah. Because if they didn't wear those suits, those boys would be so full of holes they'd whistle when they walk.
I was... Gabe, help me out here.
Well, it appears that you have your facts wrong, Mr. Gantry. Your company is supposed to get 1,500 gallons. Destination someplace called Belle Isle in Louisiana. Signed for by an officer of your company and due the 23rd.
I believe the word you're searching for is wrong.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, wrong. You are not right.
Like,
you are
why is there a
incorrect.
W in front of wrong, Gabe?
So, we're right and you're wrong.
Let me see that. Takes a big man to admit when he's wrong. I am not a big man.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
People are chiming in, Chew, on the ESPN Milwaukee Talk and Text line, 800-990-3776. They're calling you a TBT.
What's that?
Tampa Bay
Toad?
Just saying.
No, I just think they're better. They clearly had one of the toughest schedules in the league, and they're not great, but I think they're a good team.
They are going to miss the playoffs.
Probably.
Feel very confident.
Probably. But like Gabe, this week, right? Not this week. Next week when they play the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to put them so high up on the list, then this game against the Bears should be, we got this. I mean, they should.
Oh, I'm not putting him super high on the list. I mean, I think the Lions, Commanders, and I will say the Vikings, Eagles. So right now, I think I've got them as the fifth best team in the division. Lions, Commanders, Vikings, Eagles, or best team in the conference. Excuse me, fifth best team in the conference.
Okay. And what's your feeling about the Bears game?
I mean, I think it should be. I think the Bears are trending in a bad direction. They have not played well offensively. Maybe they get a little bit of confidence because they're playing one of the worst teams in the league. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is, Chew, like, that's going to be a big game for the Packers. Because if they lose, they will be in last place in the NFC North. That game is going to be for third place. Like, assuming the Bears take care of business and win this weekend, they will be 5-4. The Packers will be 6-3. And they have not played well against divisional opponents, but I think they'll play well against the Bears. But I'm not going to sugarcoat the fact that that is going to be a big game, and that is a game that they need to play well in in order to win on the road and set the tone for the second half of the season.
And it's a game they can't lose.
Correct.
And they shouldn't lose.
Correct.
Right? I mean, if we're putting them where we're putting them, they should win this game by 10, and start trending forward and getting this thing going.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still a very good team, but I think I said it yesterday, I'm resigned to the fact that the D-line is what it is. I don't think they're going to get any better. All of a sudden, it's not going to be like, oh, here we go, now we go. It is what it is. But, the receiving group, you got to play better. We expected more, right? We expected separation. We expected second and third year for some of these guys really coming on. It just hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't. And they need, I'm with you. I think in the second half, they need to play better. Rob Domofsky has a piece. Our buddy Rob Domofsky, who joins us Mondays here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, has an article right now, ESPN.com. 4 things Packers need to fix to make a run to the playoffs. Which one of these do you think is the most important? I guess we can even just power rank him, since that's something you love to do.
Okay.
The 4 things he has are interceptions, so obviously the turnovers for Jordan Love, drops, penalties, and a pass rush. Those are the 4 things that he has on there that the Packers need to clean up in order to make a second half run.
You can take pass rush off the table because
it's not going to improve. Because it's not going to improve, is what you're saying.
Okay. I would rank it interceptions. Penalties, there's no excuse. And penalties fall on the head coach, I believe. I don't really know what LaFleur's philosophy is, but I remember McCarthy. McCarthy really didn't seem to care too much about penalties, which I don't understand when it comes to coaching, because penalties are a form of discipline, right?
So how do you fix that, Chew? How does that get fixed?
That's just, you know what? Penalties and drops kind of go hand in hand. It's all concentration, It's all. With drops, it's typically like trying to make a move before you secure the ball, Go back to your basics with the drugs machine. See the thing in, tuck it, 5 points of the ball, right? Mm-hmm. And then penalties, it's LaFleur. It's got to be like, what are we doing here? I mean, it's not like you can find these guys for penalties and stuff like that, but...
And the issue with the penalties, especially against the Lions... seemed like they came, pre-snap penalties, because I think you can live with some of the other penalties, Chew. Pass interference is going to happen, right? It's the NFL. Pass interference is going to happen. An offensive lineman's going to hold from time to time. But it's the inopportune pre-snap penalties, a false start that turns 3rd and 3 into 3rd and 8. You jump offside to turn a 4th and goal from the 5 to 4th and goal from the 2.5. Those are the ones that kill you.
But, Gabe, the one lineman, and I forget which lineman it was, answer to the question about jumping is as stupid as Anthony Richardson tapping himself out to come out of the game when you say, I didn't know what the snap count was, so I guessed.
I was guessing the snap count from the defensive line.
What in the world is that? Right?
You can never say that,
That was
right?
a costly penalty. You can't say that. I mean, that could happen.
Well, when can a defense actually guess on a snap count? And it's acceptable.
You shouldn't.
Okay.
So
it's not acceptable.
There's really 2 answers in that. There is, if the clock's running out, you can jump that one.
Sure.
You've seen a lot of guys do that, especially against the Packers, when they're like, well, they have to snap the ball here over a penalty. So I'm just
by the time I'm offside, the play clock would have expired.
Yes. And then the other one is usually if you have a key. There are some teams still in the NFL that don't change their snap count enough. And you can see guys just jump in the snap. It happens a lot more in college, but that's really it.
Well, I mean, these D linemen, they practice every single day about watching the ball and not listening to the snap count. It's the same for us when we're on the road and you can't hear, especially as a tight end because you're so far removed. You got to eyeball the ball. But you have to know that, hey, I could be half a click late just by eyeballing it and not hearing the cadence. But that's just... It's just undisciplined. But that falls on the head coach. He's got to make it, just like Jeff Hafley when he came into the season said, we're going to make turnovers a priority, which has paid off. You got to have that same philosophy when it comes to penalties. You just can't accept them because they are so penal. I mean, the 3rd and 2, Gabe, 3rd and 2 going to 3rd and 7, that's a whole different set of play calls, and it's so much easier on the defense because they're like, all right, chances of them running ball are slim to none. Let's play our coverage here.
Well, one of the things you've talked about, Chew, a lot of times when win-loss or indifferent, and I'll take a look at this during the break, but it seems like their third down conversion rate has been low.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have those stupid penalties, picking up 3rd and 7 is a hell of a lot harder than 3rd and 2.
Yeah. You know what I think? I think there's just got to be a little... LaFleur's got to determine his guys, right? Like Detroit determines who their guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Their guys are Amon St. Brown and Laporta, right?
Well, and the 2 running backs. They lean on those 2 running backs.
And the 2 running backs. Yeah, so we have Josh Jacobs, which is great. We know he's going to be a part of the game plan. But I think he just needs to trend more to all right, Jaden is our Amon St. Brown and Kraft is our Laporta, right?
Yeah.
You have to make a concerted effort to get these guys the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you get them the ball, what's the defense going to do? They're going to pay special attention to them. Then you go to your other tier of receivers. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think they're riding their horses from a receiving standpoint enough. There's a little bit too much of, let's spread it around. And I don't know if this goes back to Dobbs or whatever, but you know what? Let your stars shine. And right now your stars are Reed and Kraft. I thought this last game, a big game, I didn't think Kraft was involved enough in the game plan. Or it certainly didn't feel like it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So if we're power ranking these 4 things from Rob's story, interceptions 1, pass rush 4. Again, these are the 4 things that the Packers need to clean up to go on a deep playoff run. Drop passes, penalties. How are you putting those 2, 3?
What ideally I'd love to say, Gabe, is I would.
Which one's more fixable?
Ideally, I would like to say pass rush number 1.
Well, yeah.
But I know it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's futile putting it number 1. So that's why I put it at 4. I would go interceptions, penalties, drops, pass rush.
So the Packers lead the league with 20 drops, by the way.
That's a lot of drops.
Dontavian has 8. Jaden Reed has 5. Dobbs and Kraft have 3 each.
And Gabe, there's your explanation why the third down percentage is so low. Right?
It's a lot
That's
of drops.
your explanation.
It's a lot of drops.
Yeah. I would say in a season for myself, if I went through it with 5 drops, that's pretty good.
Really?
Right?
That kind of seems high for you.
Read those off right now.
All right. So right now, the Packers lead the league lead the league with drops as a team with 20. Yeah. Dontavian Wicks leads the NFL with 8 drops. Jaden Reed has 5. Romeo and Tucker Kraft have 3 each.
Yeah, 5. Gabe, 5 for a season's pretty good. I mean, Jaden Reed, who's their most reliable receiver, is already at 5 through 9 games. 5 drops in a season is pretty good. That should be the number.
I mean, I was just saying. I mean, your hands are really good. I thought they would be better than 5. I thought a good season for you would be like 3 drops.
No, I would take 5 all day long. Especially, I think, when I had 2 in the Philadelphia game.
Yeah, that was one game, one time. You played 9 years, buddy.
No, I know. I think 5 in a season is pretty good. I'd like to know what, because when I felt uneasy or I didn't feel confidence in my hands, I just go right to the jugs machines. And not sit there, Gabe. Not sit there in front of the jugs machine and just catch balls. Certainly you do that. But you got to do it on the move because those are your toughest catches. So we would all right, line up and then bust your butt across it, and Andy would time it up, like a quarterback would. And that's how you get your confidence back. You don't get your confidence back by sitting there going, derp, 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 derp. That's not football. You got to catch the thing on the run.
Yeah, you got to be moving around when you're catching.
Because if you can catch a jugs machine football, you can catch a quarterback. It's kind of like dodgeball. You dodge a wrench, You can dodge a dodgeball.
So you ramp up. What you're saying is you're ramping up that jugs machine so it's coming in hot.
Yes. Yep.
Makes sense to me. How do you feel? 800-990-3776. 4 things Rob Demovsky says the Packers need to fix in order to go on a second half run. Interceptions, penalties, drops, pass rush. Which is the most fixable? Which one do you want to see fixed? Join the conversation. 800-990-3776. It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. A local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Look, Mentality, they certainly help me. I just had my follow-up appointment that happens every 11, 12 weeks or so, just to make sure my testosterone levels are where they need to be. And the reason why I use Mentality, tired, groggy, just didn't really feel like myself. I figured, okay, I'm waking up in the morning now, getting up earlier, I'm going to get tired later in the day, I'm getting older, all these things kind of factor in, but that didn't have to be that way. With Mentality, I can get my testosterone levels exactly where they need to be for me, and they can do the same thing for you with a customized testosterone treatment plan. So go to lowtusa.com, book your appointment. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments. lowtusa.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Backups continue just a little bit right through the stadium interchange from about 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Same thing for the eastbound side. A little backed up on southbound 43 still. The earlier accident at Hampton finally cleared out of the way. Just seeing those delays from Silver Spring to Hampton. Traffic is brought to you by Walker Media Agency. Power your brand with smart marketing, advertising, and IT solutions. Visit WMA2024.com to elevate your business today. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny and mild, high of 58. Tonight, mostly clear with a low of 43 at the lake, 36 inland. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
You still had a cigarette lighter in there?
No, we should all be dead.
An ashtray.
They have the station wagons where the people in the back were facing the other direction.
The Homer Hour with Homer.
The Packers got more money than God, so in the NFL, there's no shortage. Yes, we need fundamentally in the NFL, anything Detroit does, you just assume you can do it better.
Weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. For instance, on September 21st, 2019, UCLA trailed Washington State 49-17 with under 7 minutes left in the third quarter. From that point forward, the Bruins erased that 32-point deficit, outscoring the Cougars 50-14 to win 67-63.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Badger fans, the final home matchup at Camp Randall Stadium is just around the corner, and it's a big one. This Black Friday, Badger football takes on Minnesota in a battle for Paul Bunyan's axe. Great tickets remain for the border battle matchup, but they're going fast. Don't miss out on your chance to be in the stands. Secure your seats for November 29th. For more information and to get your tickets, visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. That's uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS. Don't wait. Get your spot today.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I don't know which is which, but here's what I do.
Yes, all right.
I take the plus and I put it to the plus. I take the minus and I put it to the minus.
Yeah, but the jacker things don't have the...
Yeah, they do.
Where?
Sure do. On the handles.
What's a jacker thing? Is it something that your wife keeps in the drawer?
He meant jumper cables.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Reactions to that Rob Demovsky article over at ESPN.com. We are talking about on that talk and text line, 800-990-3776. 4 things the Packers need to fix going forward if they want to make a postseason run. Those 4 things: interceptions, penalties, drops, and pass rush. Luke chiming in. Number 1, interceptions. Number 2, interceptions. Number 3, interceptions. Number 4, drops.
I like it.
So clearly Luke is falling on the side of getting the... And it feels like the interceptions are the easiest thing to kind of clean up, Chew, because they've just been... Look, interceptions are going to happen for Jordan Love, but a lot of them have just been really dumb decisions.
That's a discipline thing, you know? And I saw the word he used. I lost it, but I was talking yesterday, good cop, bad cop with Goody
and LaFleur.
And LaFleur when it comes... He said annoying. He said it's becoming annoying, which is fair, but that falls on him. I mean, yes, you have Tom Clemens, the quarterback coach, but my guess is that they still do it the same. They probably have Jordan Love in on a Monday, and LaFleur explains to him what they're going to do for the week. So ultimately, the buck stops with LaFleur. So, and he will clean it up. He knows he's not dumb. He's a smart kid. He's just got to learn, live to play another day. So it was the same with Brett.
It's interesting to me because the interceptions, penalties, drops, you classify all of that, Chew, as discipline. Like that's just being more disciplined, and it gives me look, the drops are gonna. I don't know how the penalties are going to get cleaned up, honestly. It just seems like it's going to be a thing with this team. But if it's a disciplinary thing, if this is just, coaches and teammates holding each other accountable on these different things, it seems like it is all fixable. The one that is not fixable is the one that we have spent a lot of time on, and that's the pass rush. That is a skill level issue.
But I worked to the point in the season, I think, well, what else are you going to do? I mean, you don't have time to develop a new pass rush. Maybe you don't even have that. It's just, it is what it is. Schematically. See, and I wanted to tell Jason this. When you go as outside linebacker to hand on the ground D and in a 4-3, the pass rush doesn't get any harder, okay? It's what you play against the run gets harder, because instead of single blocks now, where you were technically an outside linebacker, you don't double team outside linebackers, right? That's a whole zone man-on-man blocking scheme. Now in the run defense, as a defensive end, you're dealing with combination blocking. You're dealing with tackle, tight end, taking first level to second level. That's what Andy always taught us. Don't abandon the first level and be in a rush to get to the second level until you move. That's what they have to deal with. That's what's difficult, not pass rush. Pass rush, if anything, becomes easier.
K-Walk hits us up, 800-990-3776. Do you think the Packers will pick anyone up off of waivers once teams let go of some of these guys for the pass rush? Look,
what does it matter? I mean, if a guy's on waiver, he's not very good.
Correct.
What the hell,
Correct.
He's not very good. He ain't going to do a damn thing. Now, can I ask you a question?
Please.
I want to know if it's good. Now, Gabe and Joshy, have you ever had Costco's muffins?
No.
Negative.
Die for. The best I've ever had. Their bakery is outstanding.
Do you have any recommendations? I think I've got to make a Costco run this weekend.
I'm going to give you a few.
All right.
We had the cornbread. The cornbread is unbelievable. And with that, we bought the pumpkin muffins.
Okay.
Because of which are equally as good. So about Wednesday, The cornbread muffins, mold, all mold. Threw them away.
Yep.
But bought them at the same time as the pumpkin muffins.
Sure.
Right? So I just went upstairs for a pumpkin muffin.
Mm-hmm.
Mold has set in.
Yeah.
So I peeled the mold off and ate the muffin. Is that okay?
For you, sure. Like this is the least shocking
I'm
story.
not saying for me. I'm just saying
it's the least shocking story
you have done the same.
Would I have done the same? No. Once that mold sets in, it's going in the trash.
What about mold on a loaf of bread? If it's on the butt pieces, but there's 6 of them untouched.
I'm fine. Totally fine.
Yeah, like that's fine. Yeah. Like I've done it before. So I like to get the pretzel buns, and those will mold faster. But if there's like mold on one pretzel bun but not the other, I'm throwing away the moldy one, but I'm keeping the other one.
Yeah.
But what if the muffin is so good, Gabe? What's wrong with just peeling off the mold? It hasn't carried yet to completely envelop the muffin.
Is that how mold works?
Like, so all of the muffins had mold. Like you couldn't again because the muffin. The great thing about muffins is they each have their own individual slot in the plastic container. Yes. So they're separate. There's no chance that they're going to be touching, even though one with the mold might be touching one without mold. So you can just kind of get it up and throw it away.
Correct.
But
yes,
a muffin's too small, man. Like once that muffin has some sort of mold, I'm chucking it.
I think you're wrong. I think as long as you cut it out, you're all right. And even if you eat it, so what? Right? You're not going to get sick.
What? I mean,
I believe you would.
I mean, you could. Yeah. It's certainly a possibility. Higher chance you get sick by eating the mold than not eating the mold.
Well, what's penicillin? Penicillin's mold.
Yeah, I mean, so is blue cheese. It's a different kind of mold, bud.
I don't know about that.
So mold is mold is mold?
Mold is not mold. We know what black mold is, and that can kill you.
So,
well, I'm going back to them tomorrow, Josh. I'll tell you. I got 1.5 left. No, not yet. Like the cornbread ones were They look like chocolate chips everywhere.
Okay, not great. Not great.
So I tossed those.
Wait, so how many?
And that was painful.
How many muffins are left?
1.5. I just cut the one in half, and it's harder to see the mold because the pumpkin ones are darker, obviously, than cornbread.
Okay.
But nothing tasted funky. I made sure that I cut enough away, but they're so good. I'm not throwing them away. I ain't throwing them away.
Wait, so did you inspect the other muffins to see if they had mold?
No.
Wait, why wouldn't you just throw away the moldy one and eat a non-moldy one?
Because I'll get to it tomorrow.
Yeah, but it might be too late tomorrow. They might have mold all over them. You know the clock is ticking.
Then you lose.
The other
then you lose. Then you lose. Then you lose.
That's not a gamble.
It's a
loss. Why wouldn't you just eat the non-moldy one then? You know the time is ticking.
Because I'll save that till tomorrow, and there's a chance that it won't be moldy. So you're saying eat the non-moldy one, and the one that has a little bit of a mold on it, throw it away? No.
See you later. Out.
No.
Out.
No. Mm-mm.
As Holmgren used to say, out. Out. I'm kicking that mold out like he used to kick Frank out of practice.
Do we think Chewy's propensity to consume moldy things has anything to do with maybe being a big Bucks fan?
Wait, the mold is
getting to his brain?
The mold is infecting him to the point where now he's rooting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
That's what I'm thinking.
See, I don't think that's true. I'm just looking at this objectively across the league. Now, and there are people down here that are from Pittsburgh or Buffalo that have now converted to being Tampa Bay Bucks fans, but I'm not there. Like Dyson, my son, Willie Joe Tampa Bay.
Oh, you told me because he's big. He goes to the Lightning games. Like he's a big hockey fan.
Total. He called himself a Floridian after a month of living down here.
See, he acclimated very quick, is what you're saying.
Yes.
And you would consider yourself a Floridian now, even though
Well, I'm a resident of here.
I think for legal purposes, you have to call yourself a Floridian then.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm a mutt.
Yeah, because you spent 22 years in Massachusetts.
Wouldn't the IRS consider you a Floridian?
Yes, the IRS. That's why I said for legal purposes.
The IRS does consider me a Floridian.
For legal purposes, Chewy should be saying he's a Floridian.
Yes.
So this can't be thrown against him. But you spent 22 years in Massachusetts.
Yes.
Then how long were you a Wisconsinite?
Ooh, since 92.
So 92 till last year, so 20
Yes.
or 31 years?
Yes.
It's a long time, yeah. And now you're Floridian. Yeah, I guess you'd just be a
See,
mutt
now
at this
if
point.
people ask me, Gabe, in those 31 years, you know how you meet people on vacation and things like that and say, where are you from? Well, outside of Milwaukee. I don't say Massachusetts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I grew up in Massachusetts, live in Milwaukee. Yeah, because at this point, it'd be
I don't
long
say
for you.
No. But what do I say now?
I don't know. What do you say? You were just on a cruise.
I don't know. I know I'm not a Floridian yet after less than a year of
I would say
being a
split time
resident.
between Wisconsin and Florida.
That's usually I say snowbird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. That makes sense. We did put it on the poll. Would you ever rip the mold off of a muffin and eat it? So make sure you go to @JenGabeChewy on Twitter and vote there to see if you are like Chewy or not like Chewy, who apparently ripped mold off of a muffin or cut the muffin in half, surgically removed the mold, and then ate the rest of the muffin that was not moldy.
I'll take 21%.
All right. We'll find out. We'll check in at the end of the show, but we have to check in right now, Chew, on your memory and just how much you remember saying the things you said this week on the show. Week in Reach You is coming up next. Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for the next 165 years and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind. Fifth Third is big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, but also empowered to make local decisions and work from a foundation of strong community connections. Commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
It is back to a pretty quiet ride across the area right now. We've got southbound on 43, tightening up a bit from Hampton to Capitol Drive, but nothing major. Westbound and eastbound 94 have cleared out nicely through the stadium interchange. Pretty much all of our other backups have been cleared out of the way, so we're looking good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny and mild, high of 58. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 43 at the lakefront, 36 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Have you seen them yet?
Seen what?
4 different ways to say I love you.
I'd love to see those. Show me the list. What list? The list of 4 different ways to say I love you.
Let's start over.
Where are you going, Monica?
I'm going to get the 4 different ways to say I love you.
Sarah, imagine a box of assorted chocolates.
Okay.
When you open the lid, what do you see?
I see a guy sitting on a park bench saying, life is like a box of chocolates.
But what are the shapes of the chocolates?
There are 4 different shapes.
Here they are.
Those are gorgeous.
4 diamond pendants covered in diamonds.
Almost like they were dipped in diamonds.
And each diamond was created inside a miniature star.
But you'd have to be rich to afford one of these.
Choose the diamond pendant you like best. $148.
I love Kessler's.
Everyone loves Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and sauté. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Cousins Subs is spicing things up this fall with a new sub and a delicious shake. The Chipotle Cheesesteak Sub with either grilled-to-order chicken or steak features pepper jack cheese, sautéed green peppers and onions, jalapenos, and Chipotle ranch dressing. And that's not all. Pair your Chipotle Cheesesteak with a new pumpkin pie shake and your taste buds will fall in love. Order in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Gabe, it'll change your life. Any barbecue you eat for the rest of your life will be measured against Buc-ee's.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Rest of the muffin. Alan says, Chewy, don't be a cheap ass. Ditch the muffin.
No way.
He is who he is at this point, Alan.
Cheap. It's just, it's the Mount Rushmore of muffins. I can't do that. That good.
Mount Rush. The pumpkin muffin is the Mount Rushmore muffin from Costco.
I mean, ultimately, it falls on me because I should have ate them quicker.
Sure.
But they're to die for, I'm telling you.
Time to test out Chewy's memory with a little Week in Rechew.
Think you know the show better than the average ESPN Milwaukee fan? Now's your chance to prove it. It's time to play the Week in Rechew.
All right, big guy, we got 5 questions to ask you here. You get 3 right, you win. You get 3 wrong, you lose. And this is all things you said throughout the course of the week. You ready to play?
Yep.
Question number 1 begins with an audio clip.
That's when they turn into beasts.
Who did you say turn into beasts at a certain part of the day?
Kids. It's called the witching hour.
And he just, word for word, he had everything that Josh wrote down here. You just absolutely nailed it. Kids during the witching hour. Kids turn into beasts during the witching hour.
I learned something that, because I've heard of that from parents. My young dog also has a witching hour. And it's right around the same time that you explained the kids having a witching hour, where it's just
really
pure menace, running around crazy. I don't like it.
Hold on, Josh. It could be terrible twos.
Yeah, it's definitely that. He's in his teenage stage of life and is starting to do things that he knows is bad just to get our attention.
And he's just rebelling?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
imagine the dog rebelling against
Mussolini. You have a dog who's an agitator? Wow, that's weird.
I wonder how that would happen, Chew.
Yeah, I know.
Just your general disposition, I think. Anyway, we move on to number 2. Chewy's 1-0. What question did you ask Jason that was followed by this?
But
Chewy was right. Chewy was right.
I have no idea. I remember Jason doing it.
And the funny thing is, you talked about it earlier today as well with Jason.
I think he did it twice this weekend.
So what question did you ask Jason that got him that reaction?
I have no idea.
Rashawn Gary and potentially blaming the scheme for his struggles.
We did talk about that today. Do you guys feel that's coming?
I hope not. Because, I mean, if he blames the scheme, like Jeff Hafley ain't going anywhere. Like Jeff Hafley is here. Jeff Hafley is established. And if Rashawn Gary publicly blames the scheme, then you have to trade it. But right? If he comes out this offseason, let's say he finishes the season with 4 sacks, gets a sack and a half the rest of the season. Oh yeah, I struggled because of the scheme. If he comes out and says that, then to me he doesn't think he fits, and you almost have to trade him, right?
He's not tradable. What team is going to take on a $28 million salary for 5 sacks?
Well, but if they believe the same thing that he believes, but again, like you said, pass rush shouldn't matter if you're in a 4-3 or a 3-4.
No, it really doesn't. It's more of the run defense.
All right, off to a
1-1?
Off to a 1-1 start. The pivotal third question starts with an audio clip.
You know what? I wish football was more like NASCAR.
In what way do you wish that football was more like NASCAR?
Oh, numbers, just numbers. Yep.
Just refer to everyone by their number.
Make life a lot easier. Yep. You think that's why NASCAR does it? They don't know the names of the drivers, so they're just like, the number 8 car. And
yeah, sometimes. I don't know.
Like, do you think you know, Joshy, and you're included in this, do you think you know every single player's number on the team?
No.
I mean, not every single one. Like the players, the players of consequence, sure.
Well, then that's why it should go to NASCAR, because I think NASCAR is the same. You're what?
So you couldn't tell me, like, could you tell me Evan Williams' number?
I believe he's 33.
Yep. Javon Bullard?
Is he 20?
Yeah.
That was close.
Like, if they're getting extensive time, at this point I know their number.
What ends up happening is I associate them to the players prior to them. Like, Kevin King's 20 is going to stick in my brain for the rest of my life. So when someone else wears it, that sticks in my head. Micah Hyde, Evan Williams, there's the obvious comparison there. But, like, if it's a number that isn't, like, a popular one that's been worn a lot, I would probably struggle. Like, I don't know Jaden Reed's number.
You don't know Jaden?
17.
What's that?
17?
No, that's Devontae.
Yeah, they don't have a 17.
Oh. Gabe, could you name more players today or from the 2010 Super Bowl victory?
I'd probably do about even, I think.
What about 96?
I mean, 96, yeah, I know. 96 was like my heyday as a kid, had all the football cards, everything.
Okay.
Like, I feel pretty good about that 96 team.
You know what's weird? I was looking at the picture. We took a team picture during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's like 10 guys on the team. I have no idea who the hell they are. I'm serious.
Now I want to. Okay, now I got to go through that picture. I got to figure out.
No. That's for another day.
Yeah. Which one's Chewy? Which Super Bowl winning teammate does Chewy not recognize? Coming soon to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. All right, you're 2-1, big guy, meaning you just got to get one of the last two correct. Question number 4. What was this an answer or excuse for happening during games?
Well, I had to be split out a lot of times. I had to run, deep routes.
The excuses are coming through.
I had a tight hamstring.
You really are goody this morning.
Is that for being tired?
No? I can't give that to you. Josh is shaking his head no. So why did those happen during games?
Something that happened in the film room.
Getting yelled at?
Getting charted with loafs. Charted with loafs.
Oh, yeah, that's a choke. See right there? That's undisciplined, and that's a choke. Total choke. I should have known that.
You choked on the loaf.
I did.
Because when you were in Boston College and Tom Coughlin was the coach, he would chart loafs.
Charted loafs, yeah.
All right.
God, I should have got that. All right, that's a drop.
Winner take all, 5th question. Here's the audio clip.
You want smoke up your butt again? Down the road. I said it yesterday.
Why did you say people want smoke up their butts?
Because they're drinking the Kool-Aid, right? Hold on.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Okay.
It counts.
It counts. I mean, calling us Johnny Raincloud, saying the defense is fine.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Rant.
Yeah.
It all fits.
Is it because I said they were not holding certain players accountable?
Well, yeah. I mean, anybody who thinks that the defense is fine, the pass rush is fine.
Yeah.
Who then get mad at us for saying, "Hey, this pass rush stinks," because it does.
Did I win?
You did.
I don't feel good about that win.
You
I
did.
don't really feel good.
3-2.
Yeah,
is that
ugly.
because it should have been?
Ugly.
You should have dominated. It's that last question. The 4th question.
I didn't. Yeah.
The loafing question you feel you should have got. Yeah.
It's one of those you look at the team stats or the box score, and it's so favored one way, but the other team winds up winning. That's what it feels like. I feel like the Bears right now.
Or the Bengals last night.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, it's almost 500 passing yards.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I don't feel good.
Having a receiver go for the numbers that Chase did, having a quarterback throw for the numbers that Burrow did, and you lose? Whoa. Just 2 bad defenses on display last night. What number is Lucas Van Ness?
99. Or
Incorrect.
90.
90. All right.
Okay.
I might throw a couple last names during the last segment.
All right,
throw a
that's
couple
fine.
names towards you guys just to see if you know the numbers. Yeah.
You know what, Gabe? Go back to my Super Bowl years, but don't make it crazy hard. I want to feel good about myself on a Friday.
Okay, well, Doug Evans.
33.
All right. We're off to a good start. We'll do a little bit of both of that. See what Chewy remembers today versus yesteryear. From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Dame. Catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now, bucks.com/plus, or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When I wake up,
the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check that your guests like spicy first before serving atomic hot wings.
Who's hungry?
Oh my gosh. What are these?
You don't like them? Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Water.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Packers quarterback Jordan Love is throwing a league-high 10 interceptions in just 6.5 games played this season. While injuries have hampered the star quarterback this year, General Manager Brian Gutekunst believes Love has played very well as a whole.
When you're able to make plays like he does, I think there's a bit of a fine line where you're feeling that. He's still a very young player. From the amount of times he's started, has to get better. I mean, I think we all know that. But at the same time, I'm not overly concerned. I mean, the way he works, the way he goes about things, that's just a matter of time, in my opinion.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Need to find that perfect home? Don't sell. Upgrade with a home equity loan. Renovate that kitchen. Retile that bath. You choose the fixtures. Let us do the math. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm telling you, don't doubt his story, because he heebie-jeebies at certain times to miss field goals.
Yeah.
Gabe, I showed you how he does the heebie-jeebies, right?
Heebie-jeebie.
You take your fingers and you rub them back and forth on your thigh, and you go heebie-jeebie, heebie-jeebie. Swear the guy bats 100%. So to call him a liar, and he puts a curse on you?
Look, I'm not calling him a liar.
Yeah, you are.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
You know what makes me happy? My wife being happy. That's why I go to the Jewelry Center. Let's be honest, most guys don't have a clue when it comes to buying jewelry. Gabe's one of the smart one. Got the engagement ring and the wedding bands from the Jewelry Center for his wedding in 2022. They also do in-house repairs for watches and other fine jewelry like my championship ring when it needs work. I know where I'm be taking it to the Jewelry Center. They have 3 locations to stop into: Greenfield, Brookfield, and Burlington. And if my wife can't tag along, she can look through all the many styles of diamonds and other fine cuts online at shoptjc.com. I'm living proof. Happy wife, happy life. The Jewelry Center will make it happen. Brookfield, Greenfield, Burlington, and online at shoptjc.com.
So here we go.
Hate in the air, this is on me. The Packers do have a number 17 on the roster. I was doing the thing Josh was thinking, like, oh, there's no receiver with number 17, but there is a number 17 on the roster.
Who's that?
Brandon McManus.
Oh, the kicker. That's right.
So thank you to everybody who texted that in, tweeted that in. Yes, there is a 17 on the roster for the Green Bay Packers. A couple of polls that we have in the field. What would you rather have? Undefeated season and a Super Bowl win, or 3 Super Bowl wins in a row?
Hold on here. Chewy, what's a win for you?
A 21%.
Well, 89% of people are saying 3 Super Bowl wins.
That's crazy. They're wrong.
What do the Packers need to fix the most during the second half of the season? This is all close. Love interceptions, lack of pass rush, drop passes, penalties. Penalties leading with 33.8%, but love interceptions and lack of pass rush closely behind at 24 and 23%, respectively. And this is going to be a victory for you, big guy. Would you ever rip the mold off of a muffin and eat it? 41.5% of people say yes.
That's a win. That is a win. Thank you, people. Love you.
Santana Dotson.
Love you. 71.
Gilbert.
93.
Craig Newsom.
Sugar. What was Craig? Craig was 20-something.
Yeah, he's 21. Craig Newsom was
21.
number 21. Wilde Tausch coming your way next.
It is back to a pretty quiet ride across the area right now. We've got southbound on 43, tightening up a bit from Hampton to Capitol Drive, but nothing major.